Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic, why I feed my clients. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's go! This is your Daily Revolution. Living prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint.
What is up, man? Good to be with you guys on the podcast today. We are right smack dab in the middle of Shield Maiden Immersion when I'm shooting this podcast. We have 8 incredible women from all around the country here in Destin, Florida, experiencing Shield Maiden. If you're curious of what that is, go check out shieldmaidenlive.com. Shield, S-H-I-E-L-D, Maiden, M-A-I-D-E-N, live, L-I-V-E.com. And that'll tell you what we're doing there for the men, titanimmersion.com. All right. So we're on day 2, and I feed, like when our clients come to town, we feed them. Like we feed them good. We feed them breakfast for immersion. We feed them good lunch. We buy them snacks and goodies. We have refrigerators filled with stuff. There's bars. Like there's always food. And today at the end of the day, everyone's like, thank you so much for feeding us. I'm like, well, of course. And the question was like, do you always feed the clients? And I always get choked up in emotion when I share this, because the reason I do this, in 2009, so if you've been listening to the podcast, you know, back in 2004, 5, 6, and 7, very wealthy, a lot of money, mortgages, real estate, hard money. Money was abundant. We had so much money. It was incredible. Then the crash of '08 happened. And in 2009, I would end up selling my Super Bowl ring to put food on the table and pay bills, and would file a bankruptcy. But in 2009, as I was trying to reconfigure my life, I'd go to these seminars, and I knew I was supposed to go to the seminar. I knew I needed to be there. And, some of these seminars like $3,000, $5,000. I mean, that was like a ton of money back then to me. I mean, it's a lot of money. But man, back then it was like, it might as well have been $1 million because I just didn't have any money. So I remember one time, my second son was just born. He's brand new baby. We have no money. And I see this thing, a good friend of mine, his name is Roberto Monaco. It's called Influenceology. And it was the only speaking course I'd ever been to back then. So I'm like, I got to go to this thing. And it was like $5,000. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have any money, but I need to go. I know I'm supposed to go. So I sell a couple of my beds online from our house. We had nice beds. We still had some stuff from our house. I borrowed some money from my mom. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to pay for gas. I'm going to pay for a hotel. We're going to eat free breakfast at the hotel. And we're going to pack sandwiches. We've got enough money to buy a couple meals, but that's it. And I remember just having such a scarcity of resources and money that when I went to these events, I did not have the money for food. And it took every penny just to get there, the hotel. And so I remember just and people would be like, hey, let's go eat. And I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of work to do. And I didn't have it. And I would not go to lunch because I didn't have the money. I went to another event in Salt Lake where I actually took a big Tupperware of homemade spaghetti. And it was very evident because when I opened that spaghetti up, everyone was like, whoa, whose food is that? Garlic, brown sugar. And I remember the next day at that seminar, they literally said, no spaghetti. And I'm like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember just being so depressed and so discouraged at these events because I did not have the money to buy food. Everyone was going to Olive Garden or to Rodizio's or to just every restaurant. And I would sit at the venues and basically eat like whatever food I could find because I just did not have money. Every penny that I had went to the event. And I remember back then thinking to myself, when I do my own events, I will feed my people. I will feed them good. They will not worry about food. And I'm going to do that because I know what it was like to go to these events and have a cooler with egg salad sandwiches and ham and cheese sandwiches and soggy bread, loaves of bread bags in a cooler, thinking like I got a budget on every penny. And that was the price I paid back then. Now, why is this so empowering? Because I paid a significant price early on to figure out how to build this business where I could go truly transform lives and make a difference. And if you want to make a difference, there's no doubt about it, you better learn how to close deals. Y'all better learn how to make money. And look, you can impact people. You can make a difference, right? For someone in your neighborhood. You could take their trash can out. You could take them a plate of cookies. Like, those are great things. When I'm talking about impact, I mean, like, you change someone's entire world. You help them to learn greater skills and deepen their joys and, like, really strengthen, realign their relationships with their spouse and children. Like, long beyond when you're, like, passed away from this earth, you're still impacting. You write books, you have podcasts, you put on programs. Like, once you write a book and it gets out, like, people have that book forever. And so this is significant and empowering for you, because the lesson really here is simple. If you want to impact, you better, number one, get ready to pay the price. And that price is going to come in the form of money, sacrifice, giving things up, like taking big leaps of faith and making big risks, especially financial risks. I remember early on when we were first running Shield Maiden for our women back in 2015 into 2016, we were doing that at the Cliffs Laguna in Dana Point. Cliffs Laguna Marriott, beautiful, overlooks the harbor. It's just a great place to be. And I remember, like, we would do it at the hotel, so we had to basically buy the food. It was like $10,000 for food for like 8 women. Isn't that crazy? 8 or 10 women. The oatmeal was like $500 to $600 in the morning, and I just was spending more money on the food than we were making. Now, I know for some of you guys, you're like, well, I don't get it. When you run events, right, you got to do the food and beverage. If you do that at a hotel, and you can't we're not going to go do it at a Motel 6, and I'm not going to go do it at like a Hampton Inn. Like, we're doing it at Surf and Sand and Laguna Beach, Cliffs Laguna Marriott, like nice plush hotels, right? Where it's $400 to $500 a night for the participant to stay there. I remember just like paying a price, investing in our people long before I had money. We would do an event, we would lose money on the event. And people don't know this. They look at it today, they're like, oh, they got money, so he pays for food. No, I'm telling you right now, we made a significant investment early on. And I kept making these leaps of faith. I kept putting the money out. I kept paying the price. Now, how does this relate to you? Are you willing to pay the price way in advance, way before you see the results? Are you willing to make the investments into yourself way in advance and way before you see the results? Are you willing to invest in your spouse and in your children way before they appreciate you? Are you willing to invest in your health, working out, staying fit, good foods, supplements, protein, chicken breast, rice, sweet potato? Like, most people they have the microwave mentality. I want it now. I just want the results now. I don't want to have to pasty press. And I'm telling you, like, that mentality will never get you anywhere. So long before we had the money, we were making investments. Long before we had the things that we have today, the logos, the backdrops, the office space, the headquarters, all the gear, the team. Long before we did this, I made the leaps of faith in myself, and our employees and our team and our equipment and contractors. Like, I took the leaps of faith. And today, all people really see is like, oh, they run this great business. They have events. He speaks on stages around the world. He gets paid to speak. He gets paid to coach. He's like, that's my job. But make no mistake, I was making investments way before. I was taking leaps of faith. I was stroking checks long before we were making it. Paying for food, and to this day, we still do. I pay for our clients good breakfasts, good lunches, good dinners, bars, drinks, caffeinated drinks. Some of them want coffee, the Starbucks. I mean, we make sure our people are fed, because that's my investment into them. And any investment that you put into, like, people, it always comes back to you. So here's my question for you. Where in your life today do you need to make the leap, the investment? Where inside of your marriage do you need to pay a price more with your spouse or with your children? Where in your physical, your body, your health and fitness, are you not taking the leaps of faith or paying the price for what you want? And listen, I'm telling you now, pay the price now. Pay the price now. I'm so grateful for the investments, the leaps of faith, the risks we took early on, because it paid off and the dividends are still coming, that the return is still coming. And as we run immersion and we're finishing up day 2 today, I'm so thankful that I listened to the voice and I didn't stop. Because what we have going on today is a game changer. So if you're that entrepreneur, you're that business owner, and you're like, hey, what is this immersion? Go check it out. Shield Maiden Live, Titan Immersion. Check out the notes. And I appreciate you listening to the podcast. I'm so grateful for my team. I'm so grateful for my wife. I'm so grateful for my business partners. And I'm so thankful for my beautiful family who has supported me, who has helped me to go chase our dreams and make our dreams become reality. Keep pushing forward, my friends. Keep pressing forward. Go after your dreams. Play a bigger game. Have an amazing evening or day whenever you listen to this. I'm out.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. Y'all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Your daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.